Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to our shared channel where we are very famously known for hair, cooking, and other bullshit that we get into. Today we are bringing you some cooking.
You sounded so like monotone. You're like, today we are bringing you cooking. I hope you're excited. I would say that you are I would say you are a confident cook.
I see where this is going.
But I would also say you're,
I have lots of room to improve.
Still a lot to learn, I would say. I don't know about necessarily improve. I think what you do, you typically do well. But then when you try to do new things, that'll sometimes take a little bit. But you're confident enough to like try those things, right? How would you describe me? Besides the opposite.
Can you tell me what this is?
That is a spoon.
Today we will be teaching you, we have recently...
Teaching me.
We will be teaching you, / directly I will be teaching...
You're teaching you.
I will be teaching Spencer how to make a cinnamon roll mug cake. These have become a favorite recently. They're a nice little treat, mostly when we run out of ice cream and have nothing else to eat that is sweet. Obviously, mug cakes are very big. I found this on Pinterest. Surprise, surprise. I love Pinterest so much. This I found specifically from, it says Taste Tutor. I will link it down below. This is what I've been using. But I thought, I definitely ran into some bumps using this recipe. It was a mix of kind of like the explanation, kind of me being dumb sometimes. And it took a lot of trial and error to finally, I feel like the last time I did it, I got it. So hopefully we can do that again. Hopefully. You will need basically the likes of flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, cinnamon, and that's basically it.
Water?
Yeah, you will need water, sorry.
But yeah.
Wrong of me to assume you would just have water on hand. But,
I was just kind of pointing out that's how easy it is. Like it's a ton of ingredients.
It is very easy. You will need a bit of oil or butter to kind of grease your mug.
Grease me up, BB.
This recipe says it only makes one cinnamon roll. I will say that it's false. I don't know if I just make it incorrectly compared to their instructions. I have no idea, but for me it's always made 2 rolls, I slit it in half and put it in 2 mugs, and I was checking Pinterest, and someone literally said, like, there's way too much, like, flour in here that, like, when you all make it one, it's, like, so thick, it, like, is really chewy, and, like, we were kind of running into that issue the first couple times I made it. So I'd say this makes 2, for me, at least how I've come to make it. I'll just leave it at that.
Do you remember when we made lava cakes?
I really hope this goes better than that, or I'm quitting.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah. So, I will be instructing for the most part / reading the instructions and trying my best to explain to you, as Spencer does it himself. So to start, you need 9 level tablespoons of flour. Basically, you'll need 9 level tablespoons of flour, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and a sprinkle or a little dash of salt and whatnot. So yeah, that's beautiful.
It's more.
9 of those. And then that just all gets mixed up together. Now while he's doing that, I'm just gonna grease the mug. You can, sorry, am I cutting off what you're thinking? Go ahead.
I forgot what I'm at.
So I'm gonna grease the mug while he is measuring. You can use butter, or you can use like just a little bit of oil, kind of drop it in here and shake it all around. But do the hokey pokey. I do want to say technically, I know like Spencer's unsure of how many tablespoons of flour he just put in there. It really doesn't matter, you just might make a little more or less, and from there you would just adjust like how much water you put in to still make it a dough consistency. Alright, now this isn't in the instructions, but I personally like to pour just a little bit of sugar in there, since sometimes it probably doesn't matter, but sometimes I just get a little concerned that like the dough's gonna taste a little too like flat, like bland, and you're just looking for the icing on the outside / inside. So I started putting just the littlest bit, like not even a tablespoon. Like I just kind of put a little bit in there. Just go for it. I'll say there are clumps in there, so you do have to worry. So then when you have all of your powders mixed together, this is kind of the part that you have to kind of gauge how your dough is reacting. So this is where we add water. So the recipe calls for anywhere from 3 to 4.5 tablespoons of water. This is obviously going to depend on how much flour you put in, if it was level, not level, if you maybe like messed up and added an extra tablespoon, didn't add a whole extra tablespoon.
I feel like
the
you're
sugar,
stacking.
no. So what I suggest is doing like maybe like your first 2 tablespoons, mixing it, and then doing like 1 tablespoon at a time and mix, and like make sure you mix it really well so that you're getting the consistency of dough. Now what you'll notice is if it's too dry, it'll stay in pieces like that, but it should start to really like ball up. Which sometimes it does just take a little bit of patience and more mixing. Yeah, so you can literally just like put your hand in there and start kind of forming it into a ball. Kind of put it on the table and like work with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to just kind of like keep folding it in on itself, pushing it into the table, kind of like flattening it, reballing it up.
You feel good about
it? Do you feel good about it?
Do we?
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Once you're feeling pretty good about it, you're going to need your rolling pin and you're going to want to flour your surface. So just grabbing kind of like a tablespoon or something, sprinkling it about. And you can go both ways, especially because I've always found cutting this into 2 rolls is easy. So obviously keeping it into as much of a rectangle as possible makes it easier. Alright, so with how much is rolled out here, I feel like it makes it, like that would be a lot to put in a mug, you know? Like a lot of dough. But if you do leave it thicker, then it's like you kind of run the risk of just you're not cooking fully through, feeling a little bit chewy. So that's why I've come to find cutting this in half the long way makes it much easier to kind of use, and I think you get a better result in the end because of it. And now what we're going to do is for the sugar and cinnamon, I personally don't measure this.
Hell no.
Hell no. I literally just basically coat both pieces in a layer of sugar and then a layer of cinnamon. I kind of just spread this with my hand if any like clumps came out since... And now, basically to finish this all up, what you're gonna do is I take the flat edge, and hopefully you can kind of see this or at least understand from the description, but you're gonna just take maybe the bottom 1/4 inch or whatever and kind of curl it up and just push down. And this is essentially creating a little closed end so that when they stand up, all the sugar and cinnamon doesn't come just like racing out the bottom. And then you're just gonna roll that bad boy right up. And then obviously bottom and down, so this is all the rolled bit. I just toss it in there, and that's what gets put in the microwave. You want to put about 1/2 teaspoon of water in here, just to kind of help make sure everything's moist and is going to like rise properly, and then throw it in the microwave for roughly 1 minute to 1 minute and 10 seconds depending, but it should kind of like fluff up, and you'll definitely notice when it looks like a cinnamon roll.
My boy! What have they done to you? It's not focusing. Thanks, babe. This is what it looks like before it goes in.
And there it gets a little bit cooked, a little bit, you'll notice like kind of it get, I don't know how to describe that.
Kind of
consistency
like a
of dough.
shell. Like
Yeah.
has like a bit of a hardness to it.
So now for the best part, the sugary icing on top. They suggest using a powdered sugar, obviously. We don't have that, and I've never had an issue using just plain sugared, granulated sugar. But you're gonna use this, and then this is so 3 tablespoons of sugar, and then it recommends a 1/4 teaspoon. I think because this is granulated and not powdered, I end up needing maybe like almost like a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons. But this is again kind of just throw some in, mix it up, and you'll kind of turn into a sugary mixture, which I will show you in a second. But obviously adding water will make it kind of all mixed together into a more of like almost a syrup consistency.
getting the actual roll after you, like, once you put it in the microwave, getting it to, like, the right texture and everything can sometimes be a little difficult.
Just kind of take your time, kind of keep checking on things and whatever you can do however you wish. And make this as sweet, not sweet as you want, as fluffy, not fluffy as you want. It's basically sugary bread.
Yeah, I feel like the last thing you can do too, we haven't really done it, but when you take it out, if it does still kind of have that like doughy taste or whatever, I mean, you just throw a little extra cinnamon on it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We haven't done that, but yeah. This recipe I've definitely kind of struggled with because, as Spencer said, it can kind of change each time you make it. But this is definitely, it's been improvements, I would say, from the beginning. So, there you have it. I do obviously want to preface, if you are gluten-free, I know I tried teaching my cousin who's gluten-free to make this, and it was very much a struggle, as I'm sure most people know, using like gluten-free flour. It can be pretty hard to spread and kind of work with. So I don't know. I've only watched someone else kind of struggle to do it. But that would definitely be something that would take additional probably practice and adjusting to get something that you like. So just did want to put that in there. And I think that is it.
If you guys try this, or if you have any other fun little
cooking,
recipes
that
you think we should try and learn, let us know.
Real quick, how would you like rate this process and overall treat?
It's relatively easy for a pretty good treat.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not the easiest thing in the world for the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it is closer to that than it is to, like, a ton of work for something that's not even good.
Would you say your confidence has grown a bit in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm. Subscribe to our channel.
Hell yeah. And if anything's happening in your life,
let us know down below, and we will include it in the What's Happening podcast. Maybe this week, let us know a cooking mishap.
Oh boy.
If you have one. Or just send us anything good that's happening.
Yeah, what's happening. But that is all. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see y'all in the next one.